Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I'm here to give you my thoughts on Luton ending pre-season unbeaten and also give you my thoughts on the 0-0 draw at home against Tottenham. I thought today was a good performance. I know Tottenham, they can be a lot stronger than that. They can also perform a lot better than that. I thought they were quite poor today. But the starting 11 which they did put out was a strong starting 11. Now, if you didn't know, Tottenham did play two games today. They played Wycombe earlier and they did play two different starting 11s. Out of the two starting 11s, I thought the team that played against Luton today was the stronger team compared to the team that started against Wycombe. So it was still a good test. Today for me was a technical, tactical test. How well can we deal with better quality players? And I thought we dealt with a lot of things Tottenham had to offer quite well. Now, if you look at the Tottenham attack, the likes of Brendan Johnson, for example, they're quick, really good at dribbling. They can cause you problems. And when you play this three at the back system, the five defenders at the back, and you push the two wing backs further forward, there is space in behind those wing backs, which means when you play against a side that do play with wide attacking players, with wingers, they can exploit the space in behind. And what Tottenham were doing quite a bit in the first half was was getting in between the lines, getting the ball basically in that gap, which meant that sometimes our left-sided centre-half in Cal Naismith and our right-sided centre-half in Christ Makosso were one-on-one with a Tottenham winger. And at times, I thought we dealt with it quite well. At times, we didn't. But what we did extremely well, despite maybe getting beat with a bit of individual skill, we were actually recovered quite well as a unit, which is so much different to what we used to do last season. We were very organised at the back, very structured in how we were defending, and that's what really impressed me quite a bit throughout the game against Tottenham. Yes, I know Tottenham can be a lot better than that, and yes, I know it's a pre-season friendly, but still, they have the quality, they have the intelligence. That's why they are Premier League players. That's why they play at the highest level possible, playing in the Champions League, playing in European competitions. They have very good individual skill, very high intelligence as well. They're good footballers. So regardless of it being a pre-season friendly, they can still take advantage of what they have as a professional footballer. So yeah, I thought we dealt with them quite well. I was really happy with the way Christ Makosso defended. We all know how good he is in a one-on-one defending battle with an attacking player, and his recovery runs, the way he just gets his foot in the challenge, everything about Christ Makosso's 1v1 defending is just brilliant. There were definitely one or two moments where he lost his head a little bit, giving away silly fouls when he doesn't actually need to. For example, I did think at times the Tottenham attacking players just fell over for the sake of it. Spence was really poor at doing that. Half the time it wasn't even a foul, but the referee got fooled by the screams at times. I don't know why they were screaming, but that's what they do in the Premier League, as we know from previous experience. But yeah, I thought Christ Makosso defended extremely well. My only issue with the right-sided of the Luton defence is because Walters is slightly inexperienced as a professional footballer. He's still new at being a professional wing-back at senior level. He is very inexperienced, and I feel like there's going to be quite a few mistakes down that right-hand side due to inexperience. Now, Christ Makosso, he's still young himself. He's still new to the country. He's not familiar to it compared to Walters is. And also, there is still a slight communication barrier between the two. Yes, Christ Makosso's English is getting better, but I found that Walters, he needs to be a bit guided at times. I think he's more a right back, in my opinion, than a wing back. And I think when you are playing slightly not in the right role, I think you can make just position mistakes. And I felt like that was happening quite a bit. Now, I know they were up against Brendan Johnson on that on our right hand side and on Tottenham's left hand side. I know they were dealing with him, but I just felt at times Walters in particular, there was just a little bit of inexperience there, and I think he just needs to be guided by someone more experienced, and he ain't going to get that from Makosso as the right-sided centre-half. He's going to get that more with someone like McGuinness being in that role, but whether or not we'll see that is a different story, because that means Christ Makosso won't play the right-sided centre-half. So I do think you need Mokoso starting because he's going to be absolutely vital with us going forward. But that's just something which I noticed today. I just feel like because it's inexperienced down on that side, we might struggle a few times. Compared to the left-hand side, it's very experienced, with Cal Naismith being very vocal. We also played Nigel Longvik as the left wing-back. He actually got called up to the first team today. He was meant to be starting on the bench, but Alfie Doughty has appeared to have a calf issue. That's what Matt Bloomfield said in his interview after the game. To be honest with you, I've had this confirmed by someone else before I heard Matt Bloomfield do his interview that he did have a calf injury. I don't think another club's put an offer on the table and Luton have gone, nope, you can't start the game because you're on your way to Middlesbrough or Charlton or whatever club are interested in him. I don't think it's anything to do with him potentially leaving the football club. I don't see Alfie leaving. I think if Alfie does do well in the first half of this League One season, I do think we will struggle to keep him in the January transfer window. But I think in terms of right now, I think Alfie will be a Luton player past the summer window. I might be wrong on that. I just got a feeling that actually I don't see him leaving just yet. I think we are, requesting such a high fee. It's putting off quite a lot of clubs, and he's only recently signed a long-term contract. So it goes in our favour. So I think Alfie is fine. I just think, he's picked up a calf injury, which is slightly annoying because that will impact whether or not he'll play against Wimbledon. And I don't know if we'll be able to get 60 minutes out of him for that game. So we might have to play someone like Nigel Longvik, who I thought done all right at left wing back. He definitely needs to work on his first touch, that's for sure. There was a few times where, Keeley was doing these smart passing over the top and it was fooling everyone, and Longvik was out wide on his own with plenty of space. But then as soon as he brought the ball down, and I understand it can be quite hard bringing the ball down from 60 feet in the air, but some players do it extremely well, some don't, and every time he was doing it, the touch was heavy, which then invites and gives the opponent time to pressure you into making a decision. And that did happen a couple of times, I did notice. But I thought overall his performances was quite good. He was pressing at the right moments. In fact, I thought our press was quite good. We were pressing, we were getting it right. We got the right balance. It's basically what I'm trying to say on when to press and when not to press. Nahki Wells, I know there's a lot of talk about needing to have a striker. I thought he done a couple of things really good. His link-up play, I think, is really good. I thought running in behind, for a 35-year-old, he can be quite nippy. But I wish we had him 10 years ago. Because if we had him 10 years ago, he would be the absolute perfect striker. But we do need someone that I think can also hold up play and be a little bit stronger with the defender. I think there's going to be times where Nahki Wells might struggle with the physical aspect of League One defenders. I might be completely wrong there, but I thought at times today he was getting in behind, but he got caught offside quite a few times because Tottenham were playing quite a high line, and they managed to get in behind to tackle him quite quickly because Nahki Wells is 35 years old. They're sharp. Van der Veen, the quick centre half by Tottenham? He's so fast. He will catch up and he will easily, get the ball back and recover the ball quickly. So, I thought Nahki Wells, he done all right, in moments. He also had a really good chance in the second half. In fact, my favourite player today was Ali yet again. Ali, this pre-season campaign is just another animal. He is on another level. His pace just causes teams so many problems. He was causing Tottenham defenders problems as well. He had a few balls go across the 6-yard box. And he was a threat. And he's going to be absolutely key for us in this season. The same with Saville. I was watching Saville more closely today against Tottenham, and he was in the ref's ear all the time, just moaning about little things. When we won the foul, for example, probably saying, ref, why you're not booking him and so on. So I reckon he's going to be absolutely key with his leadership and just his experience of what he brings. Also, the amount of times we won the ball back today, I thought was quite impressive. But the one thing that I found the most impressive thing of all was how comfortable we are playing out from the back. I remember watching it under Rob Edwards and they just didn't look comfortable. They looked so rigid. It just looked like they didn't know what they were doing. Today, playing out from the back, whether it was Keeley with his really good passing ability or the defenders themselves, we looked so much comfortable doing it. And some of our passage of play, breaking in behind the lines of Tottenham's, midfield and defence, was really, really good. And I just think if we can do that against high level, opponent, imagine what we can do against League One players. This is what really excites me. So that, I was really impressed with that. I'm impressed with the fitness as well. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this season. It's really good to end the pre-season campaign unbeaten. We had some physical tests against the likes of Gillingham and also Southend. We've had a tactical test against the likes of Tottenham. I'm looking forward to the year. I really am. And I hope, this performance against Tottenham makes people a little bit more positive going into the year. I know there is the question mark over having a new striker. Hopefully we'll get an answer soon on that department. But that's essentially what we're missing. We are missing a striker that can score 20 goals at this level. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with this. Only 2 strikers last season managed to score more than 20 goals in the EFL. Kelman, who looks like he's basically on his way to Charlton from QPR. He did this on loan at Leyton Orient. And the second player was Michael Cheek, who is 33 years old and he plays for Bromley in League 2. So only 2 players in the entire Football League scored more than 20 goals. Mental, right? So maybe having a squad that can score goals is probably the right idea rather than having someone that can score 20, because it looks like it's quite hard to finding someone that can score 20 goals in a season. So maybe we need a couple of players scoring roughly around that 15 goal mark. So fingers crossed we do score goals in this upcoming year. But the way we are playing and the way I see us attacking, I think we will. Thank you for watching. This match reaction has gone on far too long than I planned. Smash the like button, leave your thoughts down in the video comments, and I'll see you guys in my live stream, which is happening tomorrow, and also in my video where I actually react to pre-season itself. I'm going to go in far more detail in that video. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.